people get that copyrighted works are intangible, and that's not necessarily where you make your money all the time, and you're making it a different way. I mean, I see that in the quilting industry already, right? Like there are some people who are making their money off of patterns and hoping that people buy the pattern and they don't just copy a pattern. But a lot of times the people that are really successful are using their brand, like being teachers or like listening to a YouTube channel or sponsorship, or like it's not the, like I interviewed somebody who creates creative works every single day, and I asked her about copyright, and she never copyrighted anything or had any interest. Like it was kind of your artist again. It was like it had nothing to do with her business model and whatsoever. And yet there are some that do. Like, you know, you think about major fabric super commercial spaces. Copyright's going to matter. It's exactly what you're talking about in terms of these different strata of where copyright hits and where it doesn't matter. So that's what we're trying to think through with the project.
Yeah,
you know?
that makes a lot of sense to me, you know, and I wonder whether from, you know, a pure kind of market commercial kind of perspective, you know, whether there aren't potential advantages to moving away from a kind of commodity-based approach to cultural production toward a more experience-based mode of cultural production, because I think there's at least a potential for people to generate more and more robust revenues from alternative ways of thinking.
Yeah, we also see a lot in consumables. So things you have to buy over and over again, like thread, fabric, templates, things that you use up, then it doesn't, like there isn't like, we don't have like, you know, I don't know, people copying them secretly and trying to sell you like, you know, fabric under, you know, fabric that's like the, you know, copies of the fabric. Like, that's just not happening. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's interesting. I mean, that's what's so interesting about sort of your background and others, like my background, which was history. You know, history, copyright problems in history, and we all come to it a different way, but we start to see these similar patterns. So that's like the bigger project, is understanding the role of law and creativity across disciplines and across cultural spheres, to better understand where we see the similarities, you know?
Yeah, no, I think it's great. And you know, it's been exciting to see, you know, the kind of work you're doing become more common among copyright scholars and other scholars in other fields. But I think especially for some reason in copyright scholarship, and to see the kind of the range of different approaches people have even taken with respect to the kind of projects you're doing, right? I mean, I think of like, well, the people I think of immediately are like you and Jessica Silby, right? Where there's in some ways a lot of commonality, but then in some ways your approaches are really different as well, in ways that I think are really exciting and productive.
My approach right now is just complete immersion. Like I feel like I've been dunked in a copyright vat. I mean, a quilting vat. And so, yeah, it's awesome. But this is so cool. Well, I hope you come back and chat with us as we go, because these conversations make it just kind of grounds it all. Like you start to really think, okay, wait a second, that sounds so similar or so different than what we're finding, you know? So it'd be really great. And you've been so supportive and part of our quilting army, and like you're part of us, and I just adore it. I just think it's fabulous. Now I do have to ask you the most important question, which is, you live in Kentucky. So have you ever been to Paducah, to the Quilt, the National Quilt Museum there, or any of the quilt festival stuff that happens there, Quilt Week?
I have not been to Paducah yet, because it is on the other end of the state.
It is. It's a while. How far away is it from you? Like 3 or 4 hours, right?
Something like that. Yeah, it's pretty far. But I've been meaning to go, because I hear Paducah is a really interesting
We're gonna
place.
be there, so you know, I'm just saying, you know, we're gonna. I think we're gonna get buttons so we can identify it. We're like, our goal is like, you know, everybody having JustWannaQuilt buttons, right? That would be really cool. So you could like see, like, you know, like your special button for like identifying. So I don't know, we'll figure it out. But we're gonna be, we're definitely going.
Great. Well, if you find yourself in the area, do stop by. We'd love to say hi. And
I would love it. It'd be really great. And I think like thinking through how we connect your institution with this project would be super great, with you and your institution, since you are in Kentucky, and Paducah is one of the main places. So I'm hoping maybe you and University of Houston and others, like work with us because there's a lot going on. And it'd be nice to have a connection.
I'd be delighted. Trying to get more discussion of that through our library, especially as well. So maybe we can work on.
Yeah, let's think about it. I got to figure out a way to connect all of the institutions because there are so many. We need satellite spaces because there's so much going on and hard to get to those spaces sometimes. But really, really cool. So I don't know. Let's think about it.
Maybe we could. Yeah, maybe we could try setting something up at the art museum here on campus as well. Nice. Like a small conference or a show or something like that.
And that's very cool. Yeah, I like that. Well, let's think about it. Be really interesting. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you again for all your time and re-recording because the sound was messed up on the first one. Because you were early. You're one of our earliest interviews. And as you know from your filming stuff, that usually is the hardest. Yeah. That's the messed up ones. Yeah.
It takes a while to get up to speed. Yeah, I hear you.
It's true, and you feel terrible because you're like, I know you already gave us a lot of time, but we didn't get the audio right. So could you do it again?
Yeah. No problem at all. Always a pleasure.
Well, thanks so much. I look forward to seeing you. And
cool. Great. Yeah, I'll be in touch, and we're planning this conference for the fall as well.
Yeah.
So I'll loop you into that conversation once I've talked to the students a little bit and we have a better sense of where we're at.
Yeah, sounds great. I love it. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, cool. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye. Bye.
So this is Elizabeth Townsend Guard. You've been listening to JustWannaQuilt, a research podcast coming out of Tulane University Law School. We want to hear from you. Join our army, our quilting army. Go to our Facebook page. Suggest people to be interviewed. Suggest yourself to be interviewed. We are excited to hear from you. But most importantly, I hope you get a chance to quilt today.